Thank you very much. TNG is an Australian listed company based in Perth, developing a very large titanum magnetite deposit to extract vanadium, titanium and iron. And I'll give you a run through of the project to date at the moment. It's a very advanced project, but briefly on the company, we have a number of major shareholders that have come on to the board recently. Vimson Group, I'd like to say, is now our major shareholder. They are an Indian iron ore producer. They own about 11% of the company at the moment. We're very sure that they'll be a part of the project finance and certainly are interested in the offtake for our iron oxide as well. Iozo is a Chinese investor, a private group, very safe pair of hands, been with the company for a number of years now. SMS Group is one of our partners groups that's involved in the current engineering and will be likely our EPC partner. Very large metallurgical group based in Germany. And JP Morgan's a number of institutions under them. About 12 million in the cash at the moment, and this should see us through to the completion of our feed. Brief ownership structure. TNG, we own the project 100%. We also have a technology called Taiwan that we developed. We also own it 100%. It's a world-class project. It's very large. It's close to existing infrastructure, mainly iron, gas, rail and road. That gives the project its initial economics. It's a simple business model. We can extract 3 very high purity, very high value products from a single mine, and we do that through our patented Taiwan process. The processing plant is going to be located in Darwin. The reason for that is it needs a lot of gas, it needs a lot of water, and also we're producing very high purity products. We're very close to the port at that stage. The mine site itself, excuse me, is about 300 kilometres north of Alice Springs and very close to existing infrastructure. Key progress to date. We're fully permitted on the mine site. We could start development tomorrow, subject to funding. We have all the agreements for the native title, EIS, mining licenses, all in place. We've signed a binding offtake agreement, which we announced 2 weeks ago with DKSH for our titanium dioxide pigment. DKSH is a very large Swiss-based global market expansion provider. A huge company for us to be involved with. We've also commissioned the feed, the final engineering and design with the SMS Group. This will provide us with a fixed price turnkey EPC contracts with also importantly product and process guarantees. On the back of that, we've also mandated the German Export Credit Bank, KfW, IPEX for a mandate of up to $600 million US as our lead debt arranger. It's very well located in the Northern Territory. For those of you who are not familiar, the Northern Territory is one of the best environments for resource projects. There's a very supportive government and significant infrastructure in place if you're located close to it. As I mentioned, the resource is flat-lying, shallow. It's close to the road, rail and the gas. It'll be very easily open pittable. The grades of the concentrate that we extract are very good, and importantly through our process we get very high recoveries, so we have a very strong metrics on the project. The mine site itself, we're just going to be producing the magnetite concentrate, which goes then into the processing facility. A very simple, standard mining operation at the mine site itself. Darwin, the processing facility, we've got some land that's been allocated to us exclusively by the Northern Territory Government. We're currently going through the phases of the final environmental permitting there, and the process plant design footprint is being optimised by the SMS Group as part of the feed. Taiwan is a process that we own 100%. We own the trademark name, Taiwan, and there's a reason for this as well, that we expect this to be the process of choice for these types of deposits in the future. So we have set it up for it and allow it to be licensed out. It was developed by our metallurgical consultants in Perth, along with the CSIRO, the Government Research Organisation, and the SMS Group, who have been involved with us for the last 5 or 6 years on this technology. It's standard technology that's used everywhere in the mining industry. It's just that it's put together in a sequence that's never been used before on this type of deposit. As a result, what we've achieved is a very, very low-cost process, which will make us the lowest cost producer for all 3 products. It's also a process where we have now managed to introduce a new type of feed for the titanium pigment industry. This is very important, as the existing feed of ilmenite stocks mainly for the main pigment producers are depleting globally, and a new source of good quality feed for the titanium industry is required. We've had Tier 1 significant groups involved in this project, right through from the feasibility studies, scoping studies, through to where we're at the moment. As I say, we are in pre-development and subject to financing, which should be completed this year. We're expecting to go into development next year. It's a very financially robust project. This is the metrics here from the optimized and updated definitive feasibility study that we did. This is in 2017, so it's just using 2017 commodity prices, which are very similar to where they are today. 44% IRR and just under 5 billion Australian NPV. Standout numbers. Have in excess of 800 million before tax revenue for this life of mine annually. Offtake agreements in place for all 3 products. Woojin, Korean group, produces very high purity ferrovanadium for companies like Hyundai Steel, POSCO. A very good agreement for us. They require a long-term source of high purity vanadium pentoxide, which is just what our deposit and our process can produce. Offtake agreement, as I mentioned, with the DKS group, a global group, over 850 offices worldwide, and a very significant group for us to be involved with. 11 billion US turnover they have. The agreement there is that they'll take up to 100% of our product and distribute it to their own network. So it's a huge revenue part of our overall business plan, and a very significant agreement for us to have the company. The final product is as an iron oxide. It's a very high-grade iron oxide that we produce. It grades around about 65% Fe, and it's 99.9% pure. The agreement that we have at the moment with Gunvor which is a Swiss trading group, but in Singapore they have a bulk commodities sector, is for them to take up to 60% of the product. As I mentioned at the start, though, our major shareholder now, the Vimson Group, Indian iron ore conglomerate, has expressed interest in the product, so that we will be doing negotiations with them on that, probably as part of the project finance as well, which will be an added asset. Approvals are all in place, as I mentioned, for the mine site. We're very advanced in this project, and the processing plant, we expect the EIS to be completed this quarter, and we see no roadblocks at all in that being permitted. And the feed is underway. We expect that to be completed by the end of this year or early next year, subject to delays, of course, that are outside of TNG's control. But we're moving this project ahead very strongly now, and I expect that next year at this 1-to-1, I expect to be able to announce that we are into development. We also have a number of patents that I mentioned that we've developed with this process. They're in the international patent process. They're listed there are some of the countries that we've managed to achieve patenting in. And the reason for that is that we do see that this process will be licensed out for us in the future. We could be a very significant business for the company. Project financing is underway as well with KfW, and we have a number of equity options there as well. It's very important for us to secure that debt side with such a leading bank, and also to give us very competitive interest rates. I'm running out a bit of time, but there's a brief timeline there, the milestones that we've achieved, and also the what we expect to achieve now of the next coming few months. All things being equal and subject to finance, we should be into development next year, and that'll put us in production in 2022. Path ahead, very busy year is going ahead, but we see no reason why we can't achieve all of those and be into our development construction next year. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, please feel free to come around to our booth at E3. Thanks.